Hey guys, what's going on? We are back with our last set of the night for our Monday night friendlies. How you doing, Roller Coaster?
I'm doing good, Nibs. How are you, man?
I'm good. I am ready to go and ready to commentate this great matchup we have here between Ambrosio and Galaxian God.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see. Was it you with me when they commentated this rain team that Ambrosio has?
I think it was. Was that like
Yeah.
2 weeks ago or so?
Yeah. It was
well.
Will with me last week. Yeah. It was against Will. We commentated. Right. I'm very aware as to what's happening at all times.
Yep, same here. All right, so Ambrosio is going to have the Kingdra, Politoed, Celesteela, Entei, Rillaboom, and the Raichu.
Galaxian God has Salamence, Raichu, Tapu Fini, Kartana, Chandelure, and Cresselia.
Very cool. Looks like we're going to actually see a Raichu mirror match for this game here. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, Raichu, it's funny because like both of the Raichus prevent the other Raichu from doing anything. And oh yeah, we got AV Raichu here. I really like Rain as an archetype. It's really unfortunate that just like Dynamax doesn't seem to be gelling well with it. None of the Swift Swimmers just seem to do enough damage as like their Chloroform and Sand Rush counterparts. But I've seen Ambrosio use this team before, and I like it a lot. It's really cool.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Kingdra has been a lot of fun to watch in Series 7. I know it's not the best Pokemon, but it's a pretty cool design, and it hits pretty hard, and the Swift Swim is pretty cool. Is a pretty cool tech.
Yeah, Turtle Mania, I do miss my Series 6 Kingdra. I like that team a lot, and it's really solid. And something that like is super weird that like you think that Rain as an archetype would be more popular because of how like prevalent Torkoal is, but I guess just like no one can really figure out a way to make it as strong, as threatening, and as annoying as the classic Venucoal no scale.
Yeah, I think the problem with that is that it's just so easy to change the weather, and there's so many mons that run around with like Rock Slide or moves like that where they can just go into Dynamax and click Rock Slide, and it doesn't like Max Flare in the rain obviously isn't quite as powerful, but Max Rockfall is going to be just as powerful as it normally is and change the weather on top of that. So
yeah, Turtle pointing out that like Sand and Sun both lose to Rain, but just Kingdra isn't strong enough in Dynamax as like Excadrill or Tyranitar or Venusaur.
yeah.
So here we go, Nibs. We got the Rain lead of Kingdra and Politoed into Salamence and Raichu. Kingdra obviously has the advantage right now. A Helping Hand Max Wormwind seems super obvious. You might want to check for Fairy Resist because like a switch to Tapu Fini I think would be really good right about now.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty cool turn one here as we do see the Kingdra and the Politoed. So the Kingdra is going to outspeed the Salamence here, who actually is a pretty fast Pokemon to begin with.
Yeah. Salamence is also another really classically good Pokemon from VGC that just has been not found like a niche in the Dynamax format. Tapu Fini comes in for the Salamence. Salamence doesn't want to take a Max Wormwind. Obviously, like, a really good defensive switch. When I was playing my Kingdra team, there were times when I would switch out my Kingdra into my Sylveon, but they would go for just like a neutral, really strong attack, and I take like 80%, and I was like, well, that didn't work.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Ambrosio does here. Obviously, going for that turn one Dynamax with the Kingdra. Let's see if it's going to be a Dragon attack into that Salamence slot.
Yeah. Helping Hand coming out, so this could be the most boosted non-damage you've ever seen. It is in fact a Whirlwind into the Tapu Fini.
No.
And an Eerie Impulse into the Kingdra. Ooh, that is really, really bad.
Yeah, I'd say that's a phenomenal first turn play there from Galaxian God, switching out the dragon into the fairy, not taking any damage from Ambrosio's dragon attack, and also getting the, is that -2 special attack drop there?
Yeah, Eerie Impulse drops your special attack by 2. It's very similar to we have a poll currently of will someone click ally switch in this set if anyone wants to go for it. I do see a Chandelure on the screen as well as a Cresselia, so I'd say that the yeses is a pretty solid bet. Let's see how skilled the ATX players are.
Oh man. So we do see the grassy terrain come on as the Rillaboom enters the field. It is going to be a Master Ball that's going to Dynamax here, most likely going to be the Tapu Fini as it is.
A legendary, yeah. Tapu Fini goes ahead and gets big. I would imagine this is a max Starfall into the Kingdra. Kingdra goes for a max Geyser. -2, but rain boosted. It should do decent damage because Raichu's a frail Pokemon. Takes it down to Sash, despite being -2. Raichu goes for a Thunderbolt, interesting, into the Rillaboom, which is going to eat that up, and a max Starfall is going to come out into the Kingdra, which I don't know how much damage that does. Okay, cool. When I played Kingdra, the fairy types that were prevalent were a lot more immediately offensive than Tapu Fini, so I was used to just seeing that be like, bye Kingdra, but Kingdra survives.
Yeah, pretty interesting play there. That only went down to 77 HP. Tapu Fini being a Maxmon there, that Starfall was 130 base power, so that's doing a lot of damage from a Pokemon that has a high special attack stat, or a reasonably high special attack stat.
Raichu's down to Sash. Rillaboom lost to Terrain. Regardless of the fact that if the Rillaboom is faster than Tapu Fini, you're still going to want to switch it out because I don't think you're going to survive. You're not going to kill with Grassy Glide, and you don't want to take a Starfall, or I mean, potentially this Raichu has something like Endeavor, which would be annoying to take. Electro Web comes out, so even if the Rillaboom was faster than the Tapu Fini, Galaxian is going to make sure that that's not the case for this upcoming turn, dropping both the speeds as well as going for the max Starfall. My guess would be that this is into the Rillaboom. Oh no, it was into the Kingdra again. Yeah,
so that just brings the Entei rather down to about 50% health. U-turn does come out from the Rillaboom, so pretty smart there from Ambrosio. The Raichu's going to get knocked out, and the Rillaboom is going to go back to Ambrosio, allowing the Kingdra potentially to come back out with clearing off, basically having its own haze and not having that special attack drop be recovered back to neutral, and also gives Ambrosio a chance to change the terrain back to grassy terrain from the misty terrain.
There is one more turn of max here. And Kartana just came out, which is very scary. Something like a Geyser into the Entei and a Leaf Blade into the Kingdra seems very plausible. The Entei is now at -1 speed, so even if Galaxian is not running max speed on the Kartana, it is most likely faster than the Entei now, which means it should be able to get a KO this turn. You can even do something like double up the Entei, like Geyser the Entei and Leaf Bladed, or like Aerial Ace or Sacred Sword, because that covers for any switch that Ambrosio can make. And Kingdra's is so low that, like, if Tapu Fini does opt to attack that spot, it will just go down to a Starfall, even through Protect.
Yeah, so the extreme speed actually comes out into the Kartana, potentially looking out for a Focus Sash. So Hurricane is going to be the follow-up attack coming from the Kingdra, and it is going to be enough to take it out. So this Beast is not going to be able to boost, as it's going to be knocked off the field before it gets the chance. So we do see the Starfall come from the Tapu Fini, targeting down the Kingdra, and it is going to be the end of Game 1 for Kingdra.
Yes, that was a really good play. Like, that was a really good way to cover for the Focus Sash that could potentially be on Kartana. Kingdra's not the strongest but Kartana doesn't have the best special defense. I don't really know my Hurricane Kingdra calcs into AB Kartanas to be able to judge if that was a KO that could have normally been gotten. And with Rillaboom on the field and Max over and the grassy terrain back up, Fini is extremely threatened now.
Yeah, so if I'm Ambrosio here, I'm checking the rain turns that are left because potentially we want to be clicking a Sacred Fire here sometime soon into the Salamence. Although Salamence can be both physical and specialized. We are going to see a physical attack come out as it's going to be the dual wing beat targeting into that Rillaboom, going to be more than enough to knock that out.
Ambrosia has seemed to have read the... Oh, it's Moxie Salamence! Nice! Life Orb Moxie Salamence. I love it. Snarl coming out is going to drop the special attack of the Fini. Ambrosia did not go for the Grassy Glide into the Tapu Fini, which may have been a read into a protect that they may not have been able to... may have seemed like a safe play, but also kind of ended up being more risky than you realize, just because Tapu Fini just not going for it. I don't know. It's kind of a read that you have to make because the Salamence will KO the Rillaboom, but it just goes kind of as badly as it possibly could have. Moxie Boost. And I don't think this Politoed is going to be able to 1v2 a Moxie boosted Salamence, but this could be a good time to figure out maybe that Fini was Specs. You never saw it go for Protect. Politoed does dodge. Fini switches to Moonblast, so it was not Specs. And actually, because of that dual wing beat miss, Ambrosia does have a win con here. If that dual wing beat miss is really, really bad. Probably should have gone just for the safe Dragon Claw, but a Protect into a Survival into another Protect will win Ambrosia the game. So it'd be very interesting to see what happened.
Wow, and we see our crowd in the audience today. Everyone is wearing purple.
Oh, I looked over at the chat. I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, there's the audience. Everyone's wearing the same color.
Ooh, really good calm mind there. Predicting the Protect. It's pretty obvious, and there wasn't really anything Ambrosio could do about it.
Hi, Do Stuff MC. Thank you for the follow. As we do see the Parish Trap or the Parish Song counter go down to 2.
Yeah, and at this point, I think you might as well just go for the triple Protect. Oh well, okay, never mind. It's kind of scary. I am curious as to why the Salamence is going for dual wing beat instead of something like Dragon Claw. It might not have it, but this is going to come down really close, and it's really going to depend on if Politoed survives this turn. Dual wing beat again. It does connect this time. Does good damage, just in range to put it in Wiki Berry, which actually may allow this Politoed to survive this Moonblast. Which, yeah, Salamence loses HP, Moonblast comes out, goes into the Politoed. It is +1 boosted, and it does not get the KO, which means the Parish Song does successfully go off.
Oh my goodness. So it is a crit from that Scald. Not that it matters anymore because the Parish Song is in effect. There's 1 turn left. That means that we are going to see a Protect here from Ambrosio. And anything that Galaxian God does this turn is not going to make any difference. Unless they target themselves, which would be kind of silly.
Yeah, maybe somehow your Salamence turns into an Urshifu and gets to hit through the Protect this turn. But I don't think it's happening. That Moonblast, or not the Moonblast dodge, the dual wing beat dodge initially, really, really clutch. Definitely allowed Ambrosio to have a win con still. I love Parish Song so much. It's a great way to win. And Galaxian God doing a really good way to try to play out of it with the dual wing beat and the Moonblast, or the Calm Mind during the Protect.
Man, that's absolutely madness if you ask me. I mean, so Ambrosio is down in a position where they can obviously not win if they're just fighting Like you know, it's 2-on-1. It's Polytoad versus a Salamence who's boosted, next to a who was next to the Salamence there. I think it was Tapu Fini that was also boosted. But here's the Polytoad, clicks Perish Song, sticks around for 3 turns, and wins it for Ambrosio. That's awesome.
Turtle pointing out that getting a successful Perish Song, it feels so good. It feels right. It feels good to be like that in control of the game. That you're like, sweet, I win, and you cannot stop this from happening. But on the other end, playing against Perish Song, it's like, oh god, please mess up. I can still do this if you just make a mistake.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be a big confidence booster for when situations like that happen, where it's like obviously you're getting a little bit outplayed this game, so you press a button and you end up winning. You know,
a great button to press. Yeah, that's why you carry the Perish Song. You get 2 KOs, you win the game.
Absolutely. Sure. So, guys, if you were here and you were watching this and you're new and you have no idea what is going on, what you are witnessing, this is called a Monday Night Friendly, and we host it every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard. If you want a chance to participate and play in one of these Monday Night Friendlies where we will commentate your battle live here on stream, go ahead and drop !Discord in the chat. You can join our Discord. From our Discord, sign-ups go live every Thursday at 11 a.m. our time, and they will go all the way until Sunday at 8 p.m. Central. So you're going to want to sign up for these as soon as you can, because oftentimes, more than not, we have more than enough people that are willing to participate, or wanting to participate rather. So yeah, you're going to want to do that as soon as possible if this is something you're enjoying and you like being here. I know I like being here.
I like being here too. Okay, so the leads this time are Kartana and Celesteela, or Kartana and Cresselia versus Celesteela and Entei, which obviously that Kartana does not want to see that Entei. That is like the worst thing. Obviously, you're going to retreat to that. Into the Tapu Fini again. Does Tapu Fini come in a second time to soak up a super effective hit for partner? While we see Max coming out from Ambrosia in a Beast Ball, potentially the Celesteela, unless they have a Beast Ball Entei. And it is, in fact, the Celesteela going to Dynamax. Offensive Celesteela, horrifying. Terror fills me with nightmares.
Any Celesteela, horrifying.
408 HP. Lava Plume comes out. Hits the entire field, triggers the weakness policy on Celesteela, as Celesteela goes for a max Steel Spike, presumably into the Cresselia. Is it enough to KO? Ooh, Cresselia barely hangs on.
Wow. Yeah, so the max Steel Spike there is going to raise the defense of both the Entei and the Celesteela, the big celery sticks.
Excellent sticks.
And we are going to see the Trick Room go up as that Cresselia looks like it lives on either 1 or 2 HP.
Yeah, super low. These next couple turns are going to be kind of hard to navigate. I'm not entirely sure what Galaxian God has to break through this Celesteela. At full health and +2, Geyser's not going to do that much damage. You have Raichu, Salamence, both of the stabs don't hit. Cresselia very effective. Depending on Raichu's in the back, it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it looks like the Entei is going to go back in for the Rillaboom, as you mentioned. Grassy Terrain is going to come out.
Yeah, Grassy Terrain's going to come out, start threatening that Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini is going to max. So potentially a Geyser into what was the Entei, maybe into the Celesteela, just hoping for like a crit or like the best damage you possibly can get.
What do you think, Rollercoaster? Is this the turn that we see the ally switch?
Do we see an ally switch? No, we see a helping hand. Which leads me to believe this might be targeting the Celesteela, who is in fact slower than the Tapu Fini in Trick Room. The Trick Room has betrayed Galaxian God and given the speed advantage to their opponent, which is always a horrifying thing to find out.
It is going to be a geyser coming out from the Tapu Fini, targeting down that Rillaboom, which before was the Entei. So it was a super effective attack, and it is now resisted, but still does so much damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets it to just under half, but we do see the grassy terrain come in for the Rillaboom, gets it back just barely over half. Rillaboom could potentially pick off probably the Cresselia in this situation. Not sure if a grassy glide is going to do enough to a Tapu Fini at this range. It potentially could.
It is a choice banded Rillaboom, so it definitely it'll get it. It'll get it.
For some reason, I thought it was a Salt Boom.
So, yeah, this is a really rough position because Steel Spike into Fini and like Grassy Glide into Cresselia just kind of like covers everything that could potentially happen. You still have your Entei. Kartana would have to put like an insane amount of work in. We're gonna wait to see if Ally Switch comes out, but this is a really rough position for Galaxian God. Max Guard comes out, Grassy Glide into the Cresselia, no Ally Switch this turn, and another Steel Spike into the Tapu Fini.
Yeah, so I believe that is the third Steel Spike that we saw from this Celesteela, so that will be the end of Dynamax turns for the Celesteela.
Yeah, Celesteela is going to go back to normal side, but you still have a Grassy Glide, Rillaboom on the field. Salamence comes in. It doesn't have Intimidate, so it's not going to slow this thing down. The rain's up. I don't know if it can break through the Celesteela, and like again, the speed advantage seems to be in Galaxian God's favor. You can just Grassy Glide the Tapu Fini. Kartana is the only thing in the back. You can Flash Cannon the Salamence, and I don't know, like it kind of looks like Celesteela and Rillaboom can just kind of tear through everything at this point.
Yeah, if I'm Ambrosio, I think I'm just going to Grassy Glide into the Tapu Fini, as it went for the Max Guard last time around, and none of these Pokemon here on Galaxian God's side have the access to the Ally Switch. So unless this Tapu Fini goes for a double Max Guard, I don't see any hope for it.
Yeah.
But actually, we are going to see the Rillaboom get switched out for a Politoed this time around.
Fini does go for the double Max Guard. Ambrosia potentially just covering the options for that. Flash Cannon comes into Salamence, does not get the KO. Can it do anything to KO the Celesteela? It cannot. Yeah, it looks like that was the only opportunity that Galaxian had to get rid of the Celesteela. And I don't blame them going for the double Max Guard at all. Like, the Grassy Glide is going to KO your Fini. Like, you have to figure out some way to get back in the game. But, yeah, I think it's just not enough at this point. Because everything's pretty significantly chipped. Salamence is super low, probably in Scald range. Fini looks like it's an Air Slash range, which means the Kartana can't switch into it. Even if it could, Entei's still in the back and it's unharmed. Air Slash comes into Fini, does just get the knockout. I assume this is going to be a Scald into Beast Boost.
I was waiting for it, Roller Coaster. So
I had to do it.
It's a Scald from the Politoed. Gonna take care of the Salamence and wrap this one up here.
Yeah, because Kartana is strong. It can crit a Leaf Blade onto an incoming Rillaboom, and it just like it's not going to be strong enough to break through the Entei. Actually, how many turns of Rain are left though?
This is probably the last one, or there might be two at the most left. I feel like this is the last one. But
Politoed has Perish Song. I forgot. Well, actually, you can't really safely Perish Song here because Leaf Blade can just go into the Politoed. So yeah, Helping Hand Air Slash definitely seems like a really solid play. Sacred Sword into the Celesteela. Probably needed a crit to get the knockout there. Air Slash comes out. It is not a Focus Sash Kartana, and that is going to be the game. Yeah, Galaxian God in chat saying was not expecting weakness policy Celesteela. It'll run through you if you're not ready for it.
It's crazy how many different items you can put on Celesteela.
Yeah, it's a really good Pokemon. Celesteela is awesome. I think all the Ultra Beasts are really cool.
Yeah, they're definitely all cool in their own ways, except for specifically if Adam Santacos is here, Guzzlord is not good.
Well, on that note, we're going to say GG to both Galaxia God and Broach. A really good set. I enjoyed watching it.